What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, I'm going to show you 3 ways on how to get that film look with your photos. You don't need the Fuji X100 series. You can use literally any digital camera to get that film look. So let's jump into it. One tip I do have is to start shooting vintage lenses. Right here I have the Canon 50 1.4. This is an excellent lens. I love it because it is a Canon FD lens. This lens was made in the 80s and it has a lot of character. When you adapt vintage lenses to your digital camera, and you could really adapt some of those characteristics into your photos to give it that new film look you are looking for. I personally prefer the Canon FD lenses, the Leica R lenses, and the Pentax lenses. I think these are all great series lenses, and they can easily be adapted to your Sony or Canon mirrorless camera. I also love using the Leica R lenses on the Sony mirrorless cameras. I have the Leica R 35mm, and it has got to be one of my favorite lenses to put on a digital camera. I use it on my Sony a7S, and my Sony a7S is actually a camera that's over 10 years old. It's incredible the photos I am able to capture with this Leica R on this old sensor. And honestly, I think the Sony a7S, the original Sony, is so small. It kind of reminds me of the Fuji X100 series because it's such an easy camera for me to bring along with me every day. As you can see here, the size comparison compared to my Sony a7R is really different. It's so small and I can easily carry this camera with me and take it on the go. I also love shooting this camera at nighttime because the ISO goes up to 100,000 and you are getting a lot of natural grain, which I think really lends to that film look you are looking for. I personally use the Fuji X100 V and it just wasn't a camera for me. I think I'm getting a better look that fits my style of shooting using these vintage lenses on a more modern camera. Even though the camera is 10 years old, it still has that full frame sensor, so I am getting that full frame look, which is actually equivalent to that 35mm film stock you're trying to replicate. Okay, so the best way I think to duplicate this film look is to use Lightroom. I have been using Adobe Lightroom for a long time now. It is a great software in order to edit those raw photos you took with your digital camera. And what I like to do is I like to use references of actual film photos. So I'll show you here. Here are some photos with my Pentax K1000, and they were shot with Portra 160. And the Portra 160 shots absolutely look incredible. Portra 160 is probably my favorite film stock currently. And you can see the fall off and the gold tones which are introduced through these photos. And what I want to do is I want to use this as a reference image, and I'm going to start to create a preset which I can add to my other photos to give them that same film look. And as you can see, once I start doing this, I can get very, very close to mimicking that film photo. And again, I think this is an excellent way to try to mimic that film look. You can go out, take your film camera and shoot a ton of different film to see which one really fits that style of yours, or even go online and use references from photos that you were able to find online. And then once you have that, you can bring them into Lightroom and you could tweak it to try to replicate that same look on your digital photos. Okay, so I am going to use this photo of myself here. This photo was taken in St. Louis using my Pentax K1000, and I was using Portra 160, which is one of my favorite film stocks. As you can see here, the photo looks amazing. I love the way this photo came straight out of camera, and I would love to replicate this look on some modern photos which I took with my Sony a7S. So I noticed that there is a lot of gold tones in this, and amazing. There is such a gradual fall off here. I also know that the greens are lending a little bit more towards the gold, so when I'm editing the greens elsewhere, I'm going to try to introduce a little bit more gold colors to them. And I also know it has a little bit of gold magenta feeling to it in the shadows, which we are going to introduce to our other photos. But as you can see, once I create this, I can now create a preset with it, and I can apply to as many photos as I want, and I might just have to go in and make micro adjustments. But I am very happy with this process, and it's something that I can duplicate and do over and over again. And lastly, if you really are trying to achieve that film look, why not go out and get a film camera? Film is becoming more popular and popular every day. I think a great starter film camera is this Pentax K1000. I already showed you some photos which were taken with it. I love this camera. It's so simple and easy to use. It's all mechanical. There are zero electronics in this. The only thing you need a battery for is the light meter. However, this camera is over 30 years old, so I am not going to trust a light meter in it anyways. I actually use a light meter app on my phone, which I think works really well. Now, the film that I like to run through this is Portra 160. That is my favorite film stock. However, I am going to try to get more into film, and I'm going to try out a little bit more of Kodak Gold. I think the look of Kodak Gold is also very nice. Here are some photos I have taken with my Pentax K1000. As you can see, I was able to get some great results, and this camera is pretty inexpensive compared to other film cameras. So if you're looking to get into film, this is a great starter camera. Or if you don't want to go out and spend the money on a K1000, I think these range from $100 to $200. You can go to the thrift store, try to find an old point and shoot film camera. I know point and shoot film cameras are very popular right now. I see them all over Instagram, and people are getting an amazing look by using the flash on these old point and shoot film cameras. So that is another great way to get the film look you're going for. And support your local lab. I think it's awesome if you can send your film to a local lab and you're supporting that community aspect of it. After your first roll, I know you're going to be hooked. Awesome, well thank you again guys for watching my video. I really hope you learned something here. If you would like me to release these presets, please let me know in the comment section below. This is something I have interest in, and I would love to take all my old film stocks and convert them into presets in Lightroom. Please, if you have any questions, ask them in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe to my channel, as you know it helps my channel grow. Until next time, peace.